Oh, hello, everyone.
Oh,
Welcome.
hey.
Hello,
Good evening.
Internet.
We're the casual ones. This is Snowcatch Valley, the fall of '99. Oh man, episode 8,
No,
9.
you should just not even.
Yeah, episode. Beep. We'll just fill that in with text. Too late. All right, didn't do it.
Does that make us
Uh,
real YouTubers now with the little asterisks and
Fixing it in post.
Oh,
okay.
true.
Yeah, this is a late episode of Snowcatch Valley. It'll have the thing. This is a little somewhat paranormal mystery in the small town of Snowcatch Valley of Colorado. Colorado. I don't even know what I said the first time.
El Dorado? What?
Yeah, El Dorado. Maybe El Dorado.
Road to El Dorado.
Last time, oh man, last time was a bit of a hefty one. They ventured back from their trip to the fishing lakes, a little town many hours up north, where they had met with their friend Madison Taylor, who, being some sort of undead creature, Ransom discovered that she had grown fangs, whereas the year before she had little nubs, and she had slightly described that was because she refused to taste blood. And as you guys dropped her off outside of town, having whisked her away from the empty house of Fred Phillips, someone you've never met, but a house that you've now entered and hung out in for a little while, when a detective questioned you about happenings of Snowcatch Valley the year before. But you hightailed it out of there, getting back to the valley, on which you noticed a red-blue hue kind of ripple and bubble out like a flash of lightning around you. And then somewhat again, once more, once you got towards the center of town, but this time it was more subdued and softer. During the following hours, or the following day, Brody went to check on his grandmother, having shown her old photographs that she had no memory of. And then he showed her a photo of her daughter, Brody's mom. And his grandmother told him that this photo couldn't exist. It showed his mother at an age where the house in the background of the photo had been long burned down and she had never lived there. This upset her. She pushed Brody away, who, as he was being pushed towards the door, refused to give her the photo when she asked for it, and saying maybe he'd bring it back. And then we saw, well, Ransom broke into his own house, as it feels like that is how he gets in there on a regular basis.
I'm kind of like a tolerated guest.
Yeah. But more specifically, his dad's office, which is very much under lock and key. Having broken in there, he also broke into a gun drawer and stole a bag containing a gun, whisked it under his shirt, and bumped into his dad on the way out, but gracefully made his way out.
Yeah, I don't care for broke into. It's more like I cat burglared, because that was very smooth.
That's true. You didn't break anything but your lockpick. Not too bad, all things considered. You didn't even leave the evidence behind.
Exactly.
Yeah, Angel has been dabbling with this strange game that he's been playing a little while. Something that merely just comprises of purple and green lines that often reside in shapes or turn into words, and they morph around the screen as they ask him questions and seemingly presume how he's going to play the game, where it often shuts down and stops when he makes some sorts of decisions. Jimmy.
Nope. We capped everything. Boom. Nailed it.
Jimmy
Put a nice
is
little bow
all
on it.
good.
Yeah.
no.
Jimmy,
Okay, can you refresh how that went?
for a quick
Just so
refresher,
I know.
Jimmy had heard whispering from a well, which told him that this is the place he needed to be if he ever wanted to make it. And to follow those whispers and the stories that he's been hearing as they've been collecting evidence, he decided to go towards Willow Lake, where there is known to be a lot of the cave entrances and a lot of sightings and feelings towards this presence in town that they've been researching, this thing, this entity, this force that follows people and changes their lives for better or for worse. And so Jimmy followed those instincts and followed that towards inspiration, finding himself at the beach at night, headlights flashing out under the lake, and he found the music come to him, but it asked if he could come a little closer to it in turn. And so he did. He walked along the beach towards the old dock house where their own friend Madison Taylor had expressed the year before that she was drawn here for her own poetry. And having found one of her old places, her old haunt, if you will, he found that inspiration again, and it said, "You're doing it. This is it, but you need to come a little closer." And then he was pulled again from the dock house back to the beach shore, following a river beyond willows, washing in the wind, where he found an entrance under the mountain. And soon 2 glittering dots, which rushed at him with ferocity, and he booked it, ran for it, until he turned on a dime, stared it down, and almost wished it away. Where, when he looked back again, it was gone. Took off in maybe a Hellbat-like fury toward Angels. And I think that's where we're just going to pick up.
Just 1 second. Does this lead Jimmy to create a hit single called Headlights?
Is
where
he's been writing down notes. You never know.
Yeah.
Listen, headlights shining in the dark night I drive on. Listen.
Hold on. Is this a real song? Or
Yep.
I don't know if you're referencing something, or because it sounds legitimate, so I'm not sure.
You think I can come up with that off the top of my head? It has to be real.
Now I still don't know.
Yeah. You haven't answered the question at all. Thanks, bud.
Awesome.
Even if it is real, it obviously wasn't a hit.
Yeah, well.
You guys not know the song that I'm talking about?
No.
But
Has that not
by
been clear?
Eminem?
Yeah, I don't know.
By
Should I
Eminem?
Google
I
it?
thought you guys were messing
Was
with
it
me.
Eminem?
Oh, the
Yeah.
one. Yeah, Eminem and the guy from Fun, right?
Yeah.
You don't know. You don't
I
even
mean-
know. It's the other guy in the song, Nate Roos or whatever.
That just sounds
Yeah,
all
that's
made
what I
up.
said, yeah.
You made up every word of this.
Your yeah was not confident.
Yeah,
Just want to
everyone's
say.
lying. Everyone's lying.
Yeah.
Listen, that's
Uh.
how I get through life. Okay. Somebody asked me a question. Yeah.
Shake your head.
So
No,
you
I
might-
say
He must
yeah.
be middle management.
That song is also about him like forgiving his mom, so I don't think it's the same song.
Yeah, secretly Jimmy's had mommy problems this whole
Yeah,
time.
the whole time. No
Yeah.
one's ever asked about it because you guys suck. But whatever.
But yeah, we see Jimmy on the road, zooming. Same night, pretty late,
Mhm.
maybe nearish to midnight. What are you doing?
I'm playing like at this point I'm playing No Doubt because I need to calm down.
Okay.
So I just need to,
No doubt, no doubt.
and you know, at this point Jimmy is really just trying to think through what happened. Like his fear definitely took over at some point. The fear of getting hurt, the fear of dying, which is something that, you know, ever since last year has been pretty top of mind given everything that had gone on. But then there's also like this part of him that's like, but maybe that was the ticket. If you know, you could have just taken that little bit, but fuck, we're driving away now, and yeah, just heading towards Angels.
Okay.
Try to update everybody, I guess.
Yeah, you eventually arrive. You know, the Doe Father and the Shawshank projectionist there. Find the door in between them towards Angel's apartment, and I'm assuming that the road access, is that always locked, Angel, or is that open?
I've seen that like at late at night it would be locked. So like there'd be a buzzer.
Okay. So yeah, you see that in front of you.
Yeah, I'll go up and start buzzing, trying to get in.
Okay. Angel near midnight. Would you even be asleep yet? Who knows? Angel's kind of a night guy, so you get that buzz.
It's been a long day. Yeah, I'm asleep.
All right. Just
ahead.
pass it on the computer chair still. Like,
Yeah.
Just asleep
Just
like
watch-
this.
Cheeto dust on the shirt. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you hear that buzzing in your apartment then.
To go over to the wall by the door. Yes.
Hey, Angel. You should let me in. Thanks. Open it and scramble upstairs.
Okay.
I unlock the door and just like go to the couch.
I come in Kramer style.
Whoosh.
Yeah.
Okay, man. So, oh god.
Do you need somewhere to sleep?
Uh,
Are you here?
I am probably gonna sleep here. Yeah. Thanks. I'm just gonna lay down.
You're welcome.
All right, man. Cool. Thank you. Yeah. And I'm just.
Neighbors.
It's okay. No worries. Hey, you're pretty in tune
Thanks.
with a lot of the weird stuff, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Have you when we were in the woods and stuff? And remember you pointed out that well to me. Was it like whispering to you?
Yeah, it was like super faint though, and I only heard it for like a second.
Okay. Did you feel like shit, man, did you feel like you could just write a really good song if you just kept listening to the whispers?
No.
I mean,
Wait,
neither. It's
you were
stupid.
listening to whispers?
No.
Was this when you
Yeah.
and Brody went last time? Is this when this happened?
I heard some stuff when Brody and I went last time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
You've been trying to talk to the monster?
you know, it's funny you should say that. I know where it is.
What?
Yeah, man. So I think I know where we can find it. Whenever we want to.
You saw it?
Oh yeah, real close.
And you're alive?
Well, you know.
Can I check to see if he's a pod person?
Yeah, I'd say roll investigate or occult.
It'll be a cult. Always a cult. 9.
Oh, no.
9. Letting that sense wash over you, you feel a slight aura to Jimmy, like you often have found with items at the trinket shop.
So this would be new.
Yes, yeah. It's very faint though.
Who are you?
Well, what do you mean, man?
This is different.
What are you talking about? What's different?
I start smoking.
Okay. Yeah, you see Angel's skull pipe light up.
Whoa.
What happened?
Okay, so you know when we were at the recording studio.
Yeah, and the thing was talking to you.
Yeah, the way it said everybody can hear you, and like I just didn't think that sounded like mean. It didn't sound like they wanted to murder or hurt anybody. So, when we all kind of went our own ways this evening, I thought I'd take a drive down to the lake.
What?
And
Without
I
telling
wanted to like
anybody.
play some music for the thing. That's where Madison had kind of said that
She was also really explicit about like, don't go
There's
anywhere
some-
near it because it'll kill you.
well, it didn't, so that's good. But yeah, so I went down, I played some music and I don't know, wandered a little bit, wandered to the boathouse there and then started walking along the beach. And everything was good, you know. I was feeling good. I think they really liked the music that I was putting out. It was really inspired by, you know, like everything that had gone on and stuff like that.
They like there's more
Or
than
it.
one.
I don't know if there's more than one. It said everyone can hear you, and I didn't know if that meant there was more than one or what. But I saw one, and you know that's kind of what I think snapped me out of, you know, this like I was just in the zone, man. I can't even explain it. I was killing it. Every note was coming off perfect. Like no mistakes. So good. Anyway, but I saw something like, I don't know, man, coming out of the water, big shadowy figure. Looked, you know, had like arms and legs, wasn't like on all fours or nothing, and had really shiny, bright white eyes. And that kind of scared the crap out of me. And once I kind of snapped out of it, it started coming for me faster. So I ran. I ran so far away. For a second, I thought I couldn't get away, but I did. And here we are.
Do I notice if there's any kind of like lying in his story?
Yeah, I'd say you roll investigate, put that together.
7.
Yeah, you know, you feel like if he's hiding anything, you don't feel like the gist of what he's saying is wrong.
Okay. So why do you feel different?
Do I feel different?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shut up.
You
not
you can roll a cult if you want to try and, like you did down by the beach, just
Yeah.
kind of let the world fade away and make that sense.
Yeah, okay. I'll try it. 3.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Except for, you know, a little bit of the spookies. Nothing much.
I don't feel different, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, trust me, something different. Either you've somehow been exposed to something or you're not you.
I'm definitely me, man. That's. Oh man, but if I wasn't me, would I know? Oh shit. That's got a song in it somewhere. That's good.
What am I allergic to?
Eggs?
All right. All right.
Are we gonna stop staring at you? Okay, cool. What am I allergic to?
I don't know. Good music?
That's fucking hurtful and you know it.
I put the pipe down. Yeah, so don't go to those places on your own ever again. Like, buddy system exists.
Yeah, man. No, for sure. That's, you know, I tried it, didn't go well. Lesson learned.
You 100% are not allowed to be anywhere near that thing alone anymore, since it apparently wants you.
Like, is it like following me?
I don't know, but it's clearly picked you as a target.
Like a target to help me?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Oh,
And you're so freaked out about the undead. Why would you go near that thing? Best case, you're gonna be that weird vampire thing like Madison.
what if that was just like what she had wanted? You know, maybe it's different for each person.
Yeah. She seems so happy that she wanted that, and she got it. So happy.
Well, this is what I think kind of snapped me out of it, is because I just kept remembering her talking about like the gruesome murder that she had to go through, and that, you know, doesn't sound great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, man, if you're cool with it, I'm just gonna stay here tonight.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
the adrenaline's coming off, and I'm pretty exhausted. So
Crashing? That's
Yeah.
fine.
all right, thanks, man. I just slide into one of the booths. Lay down.
Yeah. That warm, welcoming scent of decade-old chicken
Mm.
wafts up into the air.
Feels like home.
Get him a blanket.
Thanks, man.
Uh, I'm glad you didn't die, but holy, don't do that again.
Yeah, man. No, for sure.
But yeah, I was serious. Something's different.
All right, man.
You might not be able to feel it, but I do.
Okay.
Okay. And with
And
that, is there anything, Angel, that you would like to do in the hours having been woken up, or are you looking to
No,
just
I'll,
go to sleep?
I'll probably stay up for like a half an hour just to make sure Jimmy's not going to try and murder me.
Just lying in bed with the door open, a crack staring out of it.
Yeah. And then once I'm like convinced that he's like fully asleep, I'll just go to bed.
And with that, 20, 30 minutes goes by. You start to drift off. 40 minutes falling into sleep. You do hear your door creak open just a little. But looking to it, you don't see Jimmy there. You just see it's open maybe an inch more. After some time drifting, you fall back to sleep.
It's drafty in there.
It's drafty sometimes in your closed off, sealed in apartment. And then over the next few days, these thoughts and these things dwelling on your mind, each of you putting together these pieces and problems, maybe choosing to lay low, having that run-in with the detective, or for some of you shaking off this feeling of this thing that you encountered. We find our way closing in towards the end of November, moving towards December. As time passes, the snow is growing heavy, and we are starting to become more of like a festive feeling again. You see the town whipping up back into decoration, and things are starting to feel light as in the passing days there seemed to have been a lull in any strange activities. Brody often up at night checking the radio, Jimmy doing the same at the station. Is there anything in the passing weeks that you definitely would have wanted to look into immediately, while trying to keep a little bit of a down low, and not raise suspicions with anyone potentially looking for you, a la the detective?
You can go, Ransom.
I was going to say that I was going to look into buying a firearm, but
Okay.
thinking about the fact that this is so bad. You know what? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that and
Okay.
steal Dad's Magnum back, because I don't want. I would rather get caught with a legal firearm as opposed to Father's Magnum that likely has a filed off serial number. You know.
Okay, yeah. I imagine at some point during the following weeks, yeah. Would you want to have put the gun back, having felt the weight of it, or are you keeping it as a backup?
No, I absolutely would have put it back. I would rather face the wrath of the police than my dad.
Okay. Just roll one stealth check for me.
Sure, absolutely.
I feel like you got things a bit twisted there.
I think he's okay at stealth.
4.
Or I would say, because you have this time, what is frustrating about it is how often you're nearly caught. Like every couple of days, you're like, you just feel the weight of having stolen something, and it's sitting there aware of you as you're aware of it, and you're wondering if your dad even knows. And days go by, then a week goes by, and you tried to put it back 3 or 4 times, but there's always been something, be it your dad was in his office that one time you creaked open the door, your mother watched you and opened her door as you watched you walk towards it. One time they were out of the house, and then turning as you went toward it, you had seen one of the assistants in the house moving down the pathway, vacuuming behind you, and just pretended you were adjusting pictures on the wall before scooting back.
Helping you out.
But finally, this morning, you finally find a time. No one's home. It's the quiet snows outside. You feel stealthy because everything feels quiet. You slip inside. You leave it there. You're pretty sure you left it as was. You're not entirely sure.
Like, wipe down the cupboard a little bit.
Mhm.
What you don't like, what his parents wouldn't notice, but what Jimmy and the rest would probably notice is that Ransom's lost about 10 pounds just from like guilt sweat
10
over the
pounds
last
of
couple
weight.
weeks.
Oh my god!
my
stress.
God.
The stress.
Just stress.
Get into
Like, not worth it. Easier to go buy my own gun. That's it. Yeah.
And the constant dreams of someone knocking on your dad's door in the middle of the night, flashing a badge, red and blue lights, pulling you out with a handgun in your shorts, and just every single time playing it over and over in your head. You pulled out into the snow and the gun falls to the ground and everyone looks at you and you're instantly guilty, and it's been haunting. But we find our way to a bit of a hunting shop towards the edge of town. It's itself in a festive season. You see a deer lit up with camo gloves on its antlers and a big red nose, and you find yourself at the counter. What kind of weapon are you looking for?
Yeah, seasonal deals on. Cool. Nothing says Christmas like an automatic handgun. I think that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's what it says on the sign. And you tap it, and it says nothing
yeah.
says Christmas, like a couple of guns. But you are sitting here uncertain if this is something you actually want to do, eyeing all these guns in front of you. Is picking up one of your own, you're thinking a good idea or a bad idea?
I mean, here's the thing: is that I know that that Colorado allows for open carry, and I can actually keep it like in my car. Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Okay, yeah. Something cool, like a Dirty Harry style.
Okay, all right. So more of a handgun guy. You're not looking for like a hunting rifle or anything like that.
No, mostly just personal protection kind of thing.
I see. Yeah, crime's has been a real uptick for you, isn't it? No wonder in little Snowcatch. I get it. No, I get it.
I mean, I don't have to give you any money, man, if you don't want it.
No, it's he quickly eyes you up and down. Can you roll keep cool for me?
Absolutely, I can. So good at that. With my 7. Bouncing on the
You see he's like a little like wary, but he senses in you like first time buyer, right? You got the jitters.
Yeah. It's just, it's kind of a big purchase, right? It's like, your first car, your first gun, your first house, it's all the same,
Yeah. All right. Tell you what. You actually looking for a deal? You looking for a 2-for-1 here, or what are you looking for?
No, I'm not looking to start an arsenal. Just something fairly heavy, like a 357 speed loader,
Okay.
medium speed load on the ammunition, and just maybe like one reload. Again, just protection. I'm not looking to go out and start anything.
All right. We got some used ones. They're cleaned up clean. No history on them. I think for a starter, maybe that's kind of what we're looking for. We got some, some more, the Magnum style, if that's something you're looking for.
Yeah, just I want to make sure that if got any of those wolves in the mountains coming after me, if I get stuck, then want to make sure I am the wolf.
Sure. All right.
Right.
But just one. All right.
Yeah, just.
You
one
got $300?
gun.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, I mean, I assume that I do with a full-time job and daddy's money. so-
Yeah, it really upset. Not paying rent or anything.
Yeah.
Ransom just buys video games all the time, nothing else.
Okay, why? Wow. Okay, are we talking about Ransom or me?
Oh, sorry.
Um,
Right.
yeah. Sure. That's fine. And then I assume that comes with the like the firearm license and the permit and everything.
Yeah. You don't worry about that. We care a lot about it. It gives you a wink, and you're not sure if he's lying or genuine, and works you through the process where you're asked for ID, and you pass over the information, and everything's written out for you, and you get everything that you're looking for, and then he gives it to you in a little box, wrapped with a ribbon.
Cool. Can I get a gift receipt for that?
All right. He prints out a gift receipt, slaps it on top.
All right. Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you have a Merry Christmas, and watch out for wolves.
Will do.
He winks back at you, but
A
then
lot of
goes
winking
about to milling throughout the store. You leave, the bell rings, you crash out into the outdoors. Bright white snow, banks everywhere. It's drifting slowly, but it's nice, and the afternoon, and you've got the car in front of you. And Jimmy, what would you be doing today? Or is there anything you would have been doing in these few weeks?
Yeah.
Trying to been chill, but still maybe you have stuff to do.
I still would have been trying to pick up the signal every now and then.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say over the nights, you sometimes feel like you get that hint of a whisper in your mind, touch, but you're not sure if it's you imagining it. And so sometimes you go down to the radio station and look for the signal itself, trying to tune like you did those nights. Can you roll occult for me?
Yeah. 5.
Yeah, you just feel it, like this slight sound every once in a while, like a breath going backwards, and then nothing on the static, nothing in the radio, and you're not sure how that feels. The voice is gone. Is it abandoning you? Is it waiting?
Yeah. I don't like the thought of it abandoning me. Pretty cool. I think if I hadn't been able to pick it up, then probably like after some of my like delivery shifts, I probably would have driven by the lake, not stopped at the lake.
Right.
Maybe
the closest road, or even into the little parking lot there.
Even into the little parking lots. Never got out of the car.
Right.
But maybe did park there a little bit, and like just like play with the radio tuner.
Okay.
Jimmy's an addict. Can't get enough.
Yeah, having found no purchase at the radio station, and then finally this morning works up the courage, goes to the lake, drives out to it. Daylight, so it's not as terrifying
scary.
and feeling nothing scary during the day.
Yeah.
You head out there and start tuning to the radio. Can you give me one more roll for it?
Yeah.
Oh.
3. Bullshit.
Yeah, it feels like silence, like radio silence in your mind, where you almost feel like there was always a whisper, or you're just comfortable with the idea of it, and it's just so silent now. And
I'm gonna get out of the car.
oh, really? Okay.
It's daylight. Nothing bad happens in the daylight. I'm walking to the boathouse.
Yeah, you start crunching through the snow. It's almost 2 feet high. Knowing that there is a lot of debris and stuff that happens as you go further towards that rock shelf that you're going to have to eventually climb. Do you bring anything with you? Is it?
I'll definitely have the hunting knife with me.
Okay.
Like just kind of tucked into like the back of like
Right.
like back pocket or whatever, back in my pants.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna leave the guitar behind this time, just because, especially if it's getting more into December, potentially more snow. I don't want to slip and break my guitar.
Yeah. So you knife up, walk through the drifting snow towards the small forest of willow trees and the dockhouse. You make your way up to that rocky ridge, Can you roll a keep cool for me as you try and climb its slightly icy sides, but the chain link fence there enough that maybe you can grip and get through.
That's an 8.
Yeah, not too bad. For a split second, you feel that knife is dropping out of the back pocket or the back of your pants. Can you roll another keep cool to see if you can grab it in time?
Yep. 8.
Yeah, you get it just barely. But as it's falling, it slices and you grab the blade itself and take one harm. It's more of the grip itself cutting through even a glove. And just a slight wound in the hand. You press on.
Damn it. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Climbing up and over that rocky face, you find your way to the abandoned beach. You can see that the snowbanks here are drifting in high angles, knowing that there is old fallen trees and garbage and things like all in this area, working your way slowly through it. See the dock house in front of you and make your way toward it.
Yeah, I'll go towards it and kind of get in, and then out loud, I'll say, "Hey, man, I'm sorry if maybe I misunderstood what was going on last time. You're gosh, Angel's gonna be so mad. It's just like you're kind of scary sometimes." And, that's probably not your fault. You were born the way you are, and that's cool, man. But I don't hear anything anymore, and that's kind of weird. Did I hurt your feelings? I'm really sorry.
And as you sit there in the snowbank with the dock house in front of you, you just hear the wind through the trees. Can you give me one more occult roll?
Well, at this point, I've leveled it up a bit, so it might be better. 9.
As you're standing there, letting the world fall silent, which feels easier on a day like this, where the snow is muffling everything. You feel a hint of it, just the vaguest hint of that presence you felt those weeks before, and it feels like when you feel like you're being watched,
right?
But the other way, like you're watching, and it doesn't know. Its attention seeming elsewhere, distant.
Bitch is cheating on me. Oh my god. I'm gonna kind of look around and scan the area and try to look towards that cave that I saw it come out of last time. See if there's anything around.
Yeah, you start making your way down towards the bank, looking towards the river, making your way past the willows, and you do see that cave entrance and the river running through it. It is slightly frozen over at the edges, and a bit of snow has accumulated. The cave itself has some icicles coming down, maybe a foot or two at most. There is, a bit of clearance between the water and the icicles, but it's silent and unmoving, and that feeling stays the same but fades. Like this thing is distant and unaware, and then it fades away.
Okay. So dumb. He's gonna kind of look underneath, kind of look into the cave opening. Be like, "Hey, is anybody home?"
Yeah, you don't even hear an echo come back. You just looking down. It's too quiet from the outside. Maybe going inside there would be an echo, but from here it's just quiet. You don't hear a response. The feeling doesn't come back.
I'm gonna try to go in.
Okay. You walk towards the river, moving closer towards the cave, get to the icicles, make your way under them or break your way through. What do you do?
Make my way under them.
Okay. Can you roll keep cool for me as you stepping to the icy sides of the bank, moving under the icicles, trying not to slip into the water itself?
9.
You catch it pretty close. You get 1 foot in, you know that sock is done for, and you're going to feel quite bad for a little while. But it's not the worst. You press under the icicles, standing up inside, and it is incredibly dark. And you hear the echoing sounds of water and drips. And then Brody, what have you been up to in the passing weeks? Is there anything that you would have been continuing to look into, trying to catch up on until we arrive on this day?
Yeah, I think one of those days I would have asked Pops to drive me over to Mom's old place just to see if it's still there, what it looks like, try to see if it kind of fits the picture. And go.
Okay. Yeah, just in the car, making your way through. Your dad looks over to you and just like, feeling sentimental, eh? That's good. You know, you're usually kind of off in your own world, so this is nice, seeing a bit of a change.
Yeah. I'm actually doing like this project of like family history type of stuff in Snowcatch, so just kind of gathering my thoughts.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if there's going to be that much. I mean, unfortunately, that place did burn down quite a bit. There's I don't even know if they ever really built up on it. It's probably, long overgrown or whatever by now. But I don't mind taking a look at it, trying to remember the way things used to be. It was a nice place.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know about that. I was at Grandma's like the other day, and I showed her a picture, and she's like, "Well, that can't possibly be like a good timeline because the house had burned down where Mom had her picture taken in front of, but the house must have been rebuilt if it's like that." And I'll add a stop sign. I'll like show him the picture super quick.
Yeah, you see, like, as he's saying that, turning a corner, he starts to like, oh, well, I mean, I hate to be the one to say it, but if Grandma's in a home and she's saying she's seeing magic pictures or whatever, and then you pull out the photo and show him, and his eye catches, and for a split second, he loses focus on the road, and you see him turning toward a parked car as his eyes lock on it, and he's continuing to drive. What do you do?
I'm gonna grab the wheel and just like turn it.
Okay. Can you roll keep cool for me?
Of course. 8.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to grab it well enough that as you get very close to the vehicle, it scrapes just a little, and you pull it off towards the side, back towards the center of the road, and you feel your dad snap out of it, and he looks from the picture of the road, and then back to the picture. Yeah, that's real strange. That's real strange. And so is it, sorry, did you make this for a project? Is that what's happening?
Make this picture? No, I just, it's a long story. Like I said, I've been trying to do some research, and kind of City Hall just had a bunch of pictures kind of lying around. I think they were doing something in the past where they were just, trying to get everybody in like a kind of a little database. But anyway, they didn't know these individuals, so they just gave them to me since I was doing a little project on Snowcatch, and they thought maybe I could help.
Okay.
Trying to get that extracurricular activity marks, get it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's strange. Like, I've seen pictures of the house. Your grandma's one to show off her albums, and that is definitely it. And he points out towards the far side of the picture where you see the black metal fence kind of moving off towards it. You see hints of garden and a tree growing there, and you can see a bit of the porch, and like it could just be similar though. I'm not the best person to tell you, having only seen it in pictures myself. So maybe this is all coincidence. And the car starts up and he drives closer, making his way to the far edge of town. And eventually you hear the wheels going over a bridge towards a small river that runs through this side. And eventually pulls up towards a small house. And and points beside it, where you see a lot with a metal fence around it, and it's wildly overgrown over the years. Beyond it, you see remnants of a house. There is a bit of a step, scorched and charred even through the decades, entirely weathered and deteriorated. There are semblances of walls beyond that. You can see beams having long fallen into piles of ash, and for the most part, it's been left however it was on the day of that fire, just rotting through the seasons. And yeah, having looked at this, it says like, this is it. This is where, I mean, your mom grew up as a kid anyway, and we've gone some walks this way in the past, and she would tell me stories and about how she loved this house. But I don't know. This is it. So she was definitely not like 20 something when she was here. You can, like, looking at it, you can see the yard here. It's a long yard, and it is completely overgrown with brambles and trees. And there's like ancient, like almost rose bushes that have been left untended, and they're wild and sprawling. And at the end, you just see a weathered and charred porch with memories of a house. What do you do?
Yeah, that's it's kind of weird. I was kind of hoping the house would have been kind of rebuilt. It would have made more sense timeline wise. I'm just gonna like turn the back with a Sharpie, just write some things down on the back. Yeah, it's weird. And I was talking to Grandma, like I said the other day, and I showed her, or show him, sorry, the picture of Great Gramps right there, and then the picture of Grandma, and
Okay.
yeah, and it's kind of weird. I don't know how she got any information from him or from this picture, but that's Great Gramps. That's what she said, and this is a picture of her, but yeah, just not flattering pictures. But like I said, I do have a bunch. Maybe you can help me out, like trying to figure other people. I'm just gonna like take out a bunch and just hand it over.
Okay.
You've worked with a bunch of people in town. Maybe you can tell me if you know anybody, maybe even who was kind of taking pictures in Snowcatch at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, we've settled here, but I haven't been here forever, so I don't know. This may not be my best pursuit. These photos are old, Some of them seem
Yeah.
like before I was here, so.
Yeah, there are some newer ones.
Okay.
But anyway, it is kind of weird. It's just like somebody going around town taking pictures, or Grandma said that she doesn't remember having her photo taken in that one. And with Gramps kind of doing that, or Great Gramps, I should say, doing that, I don't think it would have been worth the money to get it developed. So,
Okay. Yeah. All right. He takes up the photos from you and starts flipping through them. Yeah. Do I recognize anyone here? He starts looking through them, flipping through, like puts those ones of your own mother and grandmother and great grandfather aside, and looks through the other set, flipping through them. Kind of flips back to one a few times. Now this one here, the others, he puts them down. Like I can't even really tell if they're people for sure. They're pretty bad, but this one, and he picks up one of the ones that are much more recent on the other side. This one kind of seems familiar. There was a lady that used to come in to the video store. She would collect tapes for her kid. What's his name? Anyway, what was someone with a G was her last name. Gaines? I think it was Gaines. Something Gaines. This looks a lot like her. Yeah, she had a kid. Didn't have his name though, or her name, I should say. Took his dad's name. I can't remember. We probably have files on it though, if somewhere in the basement there. So if you look for Gaines, I think you can find this one. The others, they're nearly garbage. I think. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. All these photos are very weird. I would. Yeah, if you're doing a project, I don't know. I would question the validity of some of these. They seem made up or something.
Yeah. You never know. Technology nowadays, oof. You can make anything look real.
Yeah.
I just kind of based on the project, and I'm kind of also trying to figure out like weird happenings in Snowcatch. I'm wondering if you have like a story kind of growing up that always stuck with you.
I mean, I came here in my teens. It was a cool place. I really wanted the culture of a small town. Living in big cities, just anyone. I don't know. I felt like too much competition. But a small place like this, and I mean, hey, Peta, look at what we have. We've got. You're pointing to his nice car and the things around, and just like, well, nice for a minivan of some kind. We got some businesses. You've got pretty good, at hockey, and it looks like you've got a career lined up for you. And I hate to say this, but I feel like if we were still in the big town, we would have been drowned out. Too many people there. This was just the right place for me, and it worked out.
Yeah, Snowcatch has been pretty good to our family, but any did you ever hear any like ghost stories at Snowcatch? I'm just trying to get a different kind of angle at Snowcatch for my project.
I don't know about that. I'm not one to believe in ghosts. No, not really. No. I mean, your mom used to say the house was haunted, but all kids say their houses are haunted, so I didn't really read much into that.
This house?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Well. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate it. I'll go talk to Mom about it, and just see what kind of freaky ghost lived in the house.
Yeah. All right. Good luck with that. He starts to, peel off from this house, moving back towards home. Angel, is there anything that you would have been doing in the weeks passing, or leading up to this day?
Well, I continue along the path of researching about the Mothman and similar experiences that have been found around.
Okay. I would say you can roll investigation or occult on that to see how your research went over the time.
7 for investigate.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the time you kind of just retread the same water. You're finding the same kind of stories. Like, for as explosive as this Mothman story felt like it was, there's very little that seemed to have happened. And yeah, you mostly just find the same sort of stories about those premonitions and those sightings near accidents and the markings of scorched trees where it was seen and stuff like that. But you really don't find more because what else is there?
Outside of that, there's a couple other things that I would have done.
Okay.
Aside from just the occasional shift.
Right.
wanted to fix the music box that was broken.
Okay. I would say make maybe an investigation roll to see if you're able to figure out what exactly needs to be fixed.
That is a 7.
7. As you're poring over it, it looks foreign to you. You're opening it up a bit and tinkering. It's a mess of gears and stuff, and you
There's
know
nothing
that someone with
specific broken.
from like looking at it, you're not even sure what each part necessarily does within the actual rotating mechanism. But you think someone who's good with, fiddly bits and technology could definitely fix this. It's just, it's probably simple for someone who's done it before. And with the mixed success, you're just aware that if you find someone with any kind of experience in fixing, creating, you can definitely get it sorted out.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the last 2 things I would want to do during that time is at some point I'd like to at least try and backtrack where Jimmy had gone when he
Okay.
went to the boathouse.
Okay.
Just to, see if we know exactly where it is.
Okay. Would this have been in the time after or this day?
The time after I saw Jimmy and he told me about it. So
Okay. So in those
it's
the
more
following
difficult for me to
days,
get out there because I don't have a car.
yeah, you take a bus down to the far end of town where it's going to be a bit of a walk. The snow hasn't collected quite as much yet, and it's not as bad of a walk. You're bundled up enough, and you make your way towards that side of town where you get to that parking lot, a common spot for you guys to stop and hang out in the last few weeks, if not in the last year, a couple of times. And yeah, what do you do from there?
I just go through the mind map that Jimmy gave me of going to the boathouse and then wandering towards the woods from there, just
Okay.
to see if I can pick up on any oddities, whether it's tracks in light snow or what.
Okay. Yeah, taking the time. It's slow and the weather's not too bad. You make your way across the fields and you come to that rock face. And with it being, there's barely any snow on it. It's just a chain link fence. The slipping water is slightly frozen over, and you don't find that much difficulty getting up over it. You find your way to the field and to the dock house, and yeah, you do you stick around here or do you continue on first?
I look around to the dockhouse first, just to see, if anything pops out at me.
Do you go inside?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's unlocked.
Yeah. This thing's door is just a rotten panel of wood, more or less. You press it open without it crumbling, and work your way inside, where memories of the year before kind of flash back to you. The fight with Josh, using the magic on Madison from that impulse to keep her still, and all these things that happened when you thought there was going to be a bloodbath here. And you work your way towards one of the rooms where Madison talked about writing poetry, having been drawn here for the silence or the isolation or whatever it was. And you see that desk with the etchings that she made all over it and the half-written songs. And yeah, you know this is kind of a place where people have found their muse a little bit. You want to roll the call for me?
Sure. It's a 10.
With a 10, you start to feel this room, and you have the sense that this room, when it was empty, it had something. It had a feeling here. And And you having come here was kind of like breaking water a little bit and breaking through ice. And you changed it by coming into this area that seemed to build that aura that you are aware of, but when it is empty. And you start to feel the drifts of this thing fall towards the river and the trees beyond.
Okay. So it's kind of like it was a bubble and we popped it when we originally went there.
And when you have that thought, you have that same feeling of when you drove back to Snowcatch from the fishing lakes. When you guys made your way back and you saw that red and blue flash and burst, you recognize this to be that same feeling of a bubble popped when you came here.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll follow the river.
Okay.
Do I have, like, I know in the game there's like a river the last time I played it and everything. Do I make that connection that it's similar?
Yeah, I would say you start to feel a sense of deja vu, but nothing more than that.
Okay. But yeah, I'll follow the river for a bit to see where it goes.
You make your way past the willow trees, moving through the branches, where even as like before you see it, you're moving through the branches, hearing the river move to your right, and you almost see it through the leaves, even though your eyes aren't even looking in that direction. And then afterwards, your eyes, almost as an afterthought, move toward it, and you see this cave entrance drifting behind some of the willows. And it feels to you like magnetism for your mind. It is hard to even think of what else is here. You just see this dark circle wisping behind the leaves. And like when you stare in the dark, the edges of your vision go black and things start to fade. And you hear in your mind just that slight whisper sound again, just rising up from the dark.
Am I able to resist this urge to like go forward? Because
I would say roll keep cool at the moment.
Well, can it be a different thing?
Go forward.
2.
2. All you're aware of is that the hole is getting larger. It is growing in size, and there is a sound of crunching happening. And before you're aware of what's happening, you are finding your feet wet in the river, and you are finding yourself close to that cave entrance. And you can feel the sunlight fading as you're walking closer toward it and under it and through it. Can you roll keep cool again for me?
Give it a kiss.
5.
You are pulled deeper, and you can hear nothing else and see nothing else. That freezing cold of your feet disappears. All you can feel now is this feeling of drifting, as if through a room with no temperature and no gravity and no air, and you are just moving. And then in the distance, you hear the whispers rise up again, just a little bit in the distance. And they're inviting. And you see here your future. It's infinite and sprawling. And you see luxury and relaxation and investigations into other things, otherworldly things. And you see yourself glittering and sparking and rising above a planet. And it's bizarre. And you go higher and higher above it. And then suddenly you see 2 directions pan out in front of you. A light kind of glimmering on your left and darkness on your right. Where do you go?
Am I kind of like drawn to make a decision no matter what about these 2?
Yeah.
Give it to the dark side.
Wait, which one did you say was left?
There's light on the left.
That's the way I went during the last time I played the game. To the left.
To the left, to the left.
Okay. You go
Everything
left,
on
and
the
for a
left.
second, you feel ripping in your mind as if you are being pulled from something that is clasping you with you don't even understand what. Would it be like some kind of membrane holding you where you were? And you feel it pull away and this cold, crisp feeling move away from you. And for a split second, you see these two pinpoints of light in front of you, and flickering beyond this world that you've risen above, you see stone and rock, and glittering stone and rock, and flickering stone and rock, and these two glittering eyes looking at you with wavering wings and arms and legs moving towards you. What do you do?
Have I kind of like regained like a little bit of like my
You
own
you have
thought?
a bit of control over yourself now, yeah.
I reach into my pocket, pop the cap off it, and jab myself in the leg with an EpiPen
Okay. All
to
right.
get my senses
Oh
back.
my god.
Yeah.
It's like,
Okay.
I'm having an episode.
Yeah. Is this
gotta
an
be
egg
the
issue?
Get that adrenaline in you.
Yeah, so you stab that. Can you make a keep cool with a +2 for me?
Sure.
As suddenly, yeah, you get this feeling coursing
With a
through
+2,
you.
it's an 8 because I have a -2.
Yeah, you feel that flickering again, like up and down stone and worlds and stars and stone, and you see it, and finally breaking through, you see this thing shifting towards you, almost wrapping around you. You see its wings gliding out to your sides, and then you feel the cold under you again as your clothes are dripping against cold stone, and you have, for the moment, control of your body. What do you do?
Yeah, I will am I like, even though I have control over my body, am I like restrained or no?
You just find that you're kind of laying down a little bit, like sitting up a little, leaning against your arm, but you're not. It's not touching you yet. It is drifting towards you.
Yeah, I like get up and like try and like sprint away back where I came.
Okay, you make a run for it. In the utter darkness, you just see glittering stone moving around you. You get the sense of somewhat of a path, like darker than the surrounding darkness, and you make your way kind of towards it. Can you roll keep cool for me as you take a run for it?
Am I still doing the +2 or?
No, just for that, getting your body moving. An 8. Yeah, you take off. You feel suddenly as you crash into the cave wall, and you feel that this is a wall, but there is openness around it, and you follow it, keeping your hand on it, running. You feel loose rock, and then suddenly your shin hits into some like incredibly sharp rubble, and it's a boulder maybe up to your knee as you're running, and you take one harm, as you can already feel the heat of it running down your leg, and you're taking off feeling another boulder as you step to the right, and your ankle rolls just a little. Can you roll keep cool?
You got this. You don't got
we-
this.
It's a nice solid 3 there.
Yeah, you feel your ankle roll and a sharp pain rises up through it. Then you crash to the ground, your elbow scraping as you feel the stones moving under your weight, grating against your skin. And then after a breath of waiting, you just feel piercing through your back. And then everything goes black.
Bye bye, angel.
And Ransom, we see you, gun in tow, walking out into the Christmas air, the feeling of winter and festivity, a Christmas box in your hand, bullets jingling. Yeah, it's been a while since you and the guys have hung out. It's been a while since any of this stuff, but the gun makes you feel a little braver and a little more sure. What do you do?
I'm assuming that I've got the day free from the Shawshank projection.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stop by Angel's, knock on the door, if he's there.
When you get there, you notice that the door is open, which is something Angel would never do. And
Okay.
the main door at the street is open, and looking inside, you can see that his door is open a crack up the stairs as well.
Okay. So I go to the trunk of the car. I put the box inside and grab the baseball bat. And just kind of, pop it over the shoulder and then walk on in, because that's highly unusual.
Yeah, I'd say maybe you roll a stealth roll as you creep your way up the stairs to the door.
Sure. Hey, you know what I remembered is that I have a re-roll on that, and
Oh, you didn't have to be failing.
I didn't have to be failing. I'm going to anyway with 3.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said anything.
Let me just get that.
Okay.
XP.
So as you make your way up the steps, the sound of your wet boot from having walked through snow just slides on the tile of the step,
Shit.
and yeah, you hear that squeak. You continue your way up.
Sure do. Going to pass it off like it's the old building creaking.
Yeah, you continue your way up to the door, pressing it open. You don't see anybody. Looking at the door itself, no sign of a break-in. It's just an open door.
Just push the door open. I've played Resident Evil. I know how this works. They wait until you enter the door.
Yeah, you see his apartment in front of you, the kitchen and all the scatterings. You see the TV straight ahead, turned off. You see the roaster's booth, abandoned, seemingly empty. And then you just see the computer, and its display is on.
Angel? You in here?
There's no response.
All right, I'm going to just do a once-over around the apartment. Just make sure that the place is, in fact, empty.
Yeah, roll investigate or sense danger, whichever you like.
Let's go with investigate. 7.
Okay. As you kind of go around, you do notice that Angel's boots are gone, his jacket's gone. You assume maybe he just went out for a quick step. Maybe he's nearby. Maybe he's coming back. You're not sure, but you don't see any struggle. You don't see anything. You do notice as you're scanning through the apartment that on the computer there is just this flickering green and purple that says press start.
Oh, he's gonna hate if I do this. And I do it.
Yeah, you hit enter and it blinks up, and you see this green and purple line waving, and you see it waving frenetically in a circle, almost tumbling into a knot, over and over, then flatlining both of the lines, and then
Is it
they
like
come
old
together
vector
again.
style graphics kind of thing?
It is just like a straight up green and purple pixel line that, if you've ever played that old 3D tank game, it tries to create graphics in that kind of a style when it can. And what you see is after a couple of raveling knots and unraveling, you see it launch up into a mountain, a giant peak. And then you see at the middle of it, you see the purple dot create this symbol of a mountain, and then you see the green line swirl into a knot below it over and over and over, and then flatten out, and into a knot over and over and over, and then flatten out. And then it says up or down, and you see down is underlined and flashing, flickering, ticking, up or down, ticking on the down.
Up.
You see it just crosses through the word up, and it says down. And you see that knot flickering into a line and flickering into a line.
Yeah, I guess. Why would they provide me with the choice? Weird. Click.
And you turn it off. And when you go to turn off the monitor...
Oh, no. I go to, hit down.
Oh, you click down. Okay. I thought you were just game over. Adios.
This game sucks.
You click down, and you see the knot raveling through this winding road, and you see it going down and deeper. And you see the purple line kind of creating what looks like roof and stalactites as you are jettisoning jettisoning down through this path of things around it. And then you see the purple line swirl into an infinity sign, almost broken in the middle, and then swirl again as they slowly turn into 2 dots in the center of the screen. And you see this figure of a green image kind of turning into a knot over and over below it. And then you see it pan out again, and you see the mountain, and you see that winding road coming back. And then you see it turn back into a bit of a triangle shape that fades in. And you see the image of someone vaguely sitting at a computer, hunched over toward a screen, staring at it. And as it zooms in on that screen, a rectangle grows in the middle, and you see a triangle again with a knot under it and then a flat line.
This is true. No, I don't like this game.
And then on the screen, it says "Help?" ?
And I hit Y. I'm like, I've played this. I know how this works.
You just see a pair of wings grow out from around it when you type Y, and you see feathers falling through the air. And then the other line twirls above it in a circle, that knot becoming what looks like a halo. And you see it over and over, wings and feathers and a halo. And then you see the 2 bright eyes grow, and those things burn away. And then again, help? ?
Why?
And then it says help, period.
I type in okay. I feel like I'm playing Cross Country Canada at this point.
And then you feel it. You feel the lines as they wrap up and around, and you see check mark, and you see smiley face, and then you see all of those images again in reverse. You see a person at a computer with a triangle, and it's zooming out. The triangle zooms out into a winding road, and then you see cresting, and then you see another triangle, and you see that dark path winding below it, and you see the dark eyes, and you see that knot laying down as it zooms in into the shape of a person, with the purple lines around the green figure of a person drawing outward like a pool of blood. And then you see check mark, help, check mark, help. And then the lines coalesce into a single line, and it turns off.
Did I just install a virus on Angel?
I think at that thought, even you pick up one of the floppy disks that has like this similar green purple marking with no text on it, but you see scrawls of black charcoal that are similar to the ones you'd seen on those photos before, and it catches your eye. And then you also see on the bottom, written in pen, a name: Arnold Murphy.
Arnold Murphy.
And is there anything you do?
Wait. Hold on. This is the guy that... That's a weird art guy. Okay, he's making this weird avant-garde shit. I'm annoyed, actually, by this whole thing, because I know that Angel's been playing this, for 5 minutes a day. I want to know what the deal is. I'm gonna go talk to Mom, I think.
Okay.
See what's going on. I know that she's at her art exhibit setting up.
Yeah. You're aware that the art is setting up. There's going to be a bit of a Christmas art festival thing where they're going to raise money and all this stuff. And you make your way towards that. You see that they are setting up in one of the community center halls, and there's a bunch of hubbub, a bunch of decorations are happening, and you see her there pointing out to some of the assistants, kind of waylaying information on where to put the decorations and where to put the panel walls so we can get the art on and all this stuff. It's a festive life is happening here, different than a lot of the surroundings we've been in lately. And yeah, you see her there at the center of the action.
So I just pull up, and I would have stopped and got Mom a coffee,
Okay.
Come up, just lightly touch her on the shoulder, like, hey Mom, how's it going? And a
Oh.
coffee.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you. Like the Christmas spirit. Everyone's feeling it today. Yeah. Well, how are you doing? Are you looking to assist again this year? Or?
Yeah, I can help out a little bit. You know, I don't want to get in the way or anything, but
Okay.
just looks pretty good here. Anything I can help you with?
I mean, if you want to set up some of these boards and you see a bunch of like this like boards with like dots and stuff in it that you hang different elements on, and you can set up these like walls anywhere, and then suddenly you can have a art exhibit in the middle of an auditorium or whatever. And just if you could just set up some of these walls with some of those, and she points over and you see some other people are setting up their art on some of these walls as they are being built up, and the whole thing is kind of coming together at once.
Sure, yeah. Any specific place or?
I guess towards over there, and she points, and you do see that there are towards like the center of the room a bunch of people currently constructing some of these walls, and on the opposite side, someone's hanging up their art.
Okay. Is Arnold Murphy going to be part of the show again this year, Ma?
Oh, that's interesting you say that. Yeah, I believe he's here somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know him with his it's not quite abstract, I guess, maybe impressionist. Yeah, he's always, you know, trying to convince us that this is the next big thing, this
Kinda
style.
thinks himself as a real Warhol, huh?
A little bit, yeah. He's definitely got a bit of a pretentious vibe, but I mean, we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't have pretentious people. So let's
That's true.
let's tap into that.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll get on that, and maybe can go talk to him. It's just like you said, he's pretentious, but he's got some interesting stuff.
Yeah, okay. And she points you off to like a far side of the wall, where you do see a few people milling about, and you see someone that you recognize to be Arnold Murphy.
Yeah. So I basically spent like 10-15 minutes, like just, you know, helping out to kind of draw attention away,
Mhm.
and then go over and just Mr. Murphy, Arnold Murphy.
Yep, that's me. Yeah, you seem familiar. I've seen you around these things.
You would have seen me around. Yeah, I'm actually I'm her son. I just kind of like vaguely point.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and I would have grabbed one of the discs on the way out.
Okay.
And like, I need to know what this is about.
Where'd you find that? And he goes to take it from you.
Nope. I'll pull away. This is mine.
Well, it's got my name on it, and he points to it.
But it's mine, and I like put it in the pocket.
Okay.
Listen, a friend of mine has been playing this. Gotta say, Arnold, it's a very strange game. It seems to be less a game and I guess more of a narrative or some sort of abstract art. What's the deal?
Yeah, yeah, it's just a weird game, man. It wasn't good for me when I was making that. So it's a past thing, you know. It's not what I do anymore. So if you wanna just, you know what? Don't even give it to me. Just go get rid of it.
Well,
That's fine.
Were you? Did you spend any time over at the lake house while you were building this?
No, that's no, that doesn't. No, it's a computer game. You got to make it on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you didn't have any sudden inspiration while you were over there, or?
Did you find it there? No, you don't. It's a dead end of town. Why would you don't go there? I don't know. I made it in my house. Made it, you know.
Well, what inspired it though? I'm curious because it's really captured my friend's attention.
You can see
he's enraptured.
He's dodgy, and there's hesitation.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, Arnold. My friends could be in trouble somehow, and like I've seen this game a couple times, and I hate to use the word prophetic, but like there's been a lot of similarities between this game and things that are going on, and I need to know what you know.
Okay, roll manipulate.
That's what I was trying to get to.
Use the lawyer again.
Okay, I'm using my luck. I'm
Okay.
using my last luck on
Your
this
last
one.
luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks to you, and you can see that like he's almost coming to terms with something, where he's accepting this. That this is happening. Okay. Your friend's been playing this,
Every day.
and how's he doing?
He's still Angel.
So he's fine.
Well, I mean, as far as I know, but I was just over at his place and it looked like it was abandoned. Listen, the door was left open. He's never left his door unlocked ever since he lived there.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure. All right. Nothing to worry about, though, right? Okay.
well,
So
Yeah.
yeah, you wanna know about this thing? I don't know.
What's the story you were trying to tell with this? Where did
I-
it come from?
I don't know. I was inspired, you know. I wanted to make something that no one had ever seen before. I just wanted to make something that was more than just a regular game, you know. Games that can be great, but they seem to also they're missing something. The narrative of it is always predictable. It's so easily understood. There's no room for interpretation or metaphor. And I wanted to make something that even I would be surprised when I played it. And
I can appreciate that.
yeah, I poured over this thing for a long time, and I stopped eating. I stopped everything. I didn't leave my basement for maybe a month. I'd become a shell of a person, and I need to get rid of it all. So I whole thing, bundled it all up. Thought maybe I'll come back to it someday, but I needed a break from making this thing. And yeah, so I boxed up the computer, and I decided to do something different, a different way of. And he points to the board of his art, and you see a bunch of like these dark impressionistic drawings of. A lot of them have like that charcoal vibe,
Mhm.
and a lot of them have like these pattern like etches in it that kind of resemble the ones on the disc. And you can see that. Yeah, I needed a different way to channel this feeling that all I had to do was put down a brush and I can move away from it. And this has been a lot better for me.
So you packed this all up and brought it over to Twists. And
Oh no, I don't even. I left it in the basement with my mom, and
Mm.
I moved out of there. I've been living at the wellness center for 6 years now.
Now what caused this like obsession? There had to have been something that sort of set you off, because I can see that like the disc and the painting, like you haven't got this out of you yet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the art of it, you know, the abstract, the unknown, you know, metaphors and lines. It's all really makes me feel right, and I like it, and it's good. And this just feels safer than that. And looks, you know, towards where you had the disc in your hand, and just that was no good. Yeah, I don't know. I had to get rid of it. It seemed sometimes like I wasn't writing it, but I was just playing it that whole time. That's how it felt. I don't
One of those,
remember
like, conduit moments.
a little bit, like it just came to me, and I don't remember the code. I don't remember, you know, working away at it or solving problems. I just remember everything coalescing every single time. It was perfect.
I've got another weird question for you. Have you ever seen two bright eyes in the darkness?
You can see that he's just locked for a moment, like deer in headlights. And he reaches over towards a canvas bag and starts to pull out some paintings. And every single one of them contains that, where there is the darkness etchings that look like markings, and they coalesce towards the two dots of eyes in the middle, with streaks of what would be light being the canvas. And every single time, all of those in the bag, he starts filtering through them. They're somewhere within this painting, whether it's etchings of trees, and between the trees you see two faint dots, or you see a mountain, and the mountains, at the base of it you see two dots, or even sometimes you just see houses, rows of houses, and all of the doorways have dots. And yeah, he just puts those back down like, I don't know, these ones they don't sell, but yeah, that's a major thing.
You see these all the time and everywhere, or is this just artistic
Oh
license?
yeah, just art. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, something about it appeals, and I like the feeling of it.
Did you ever see this in real life? Like, say, like Halloween or on a hike?
Oh, no, even though I was in that basement for nearly a month, you'd think I would get out more after that, but no, I don't really leave the place that much. I do painting and I don't go out.
How long has your family been in Snowcatch?
Oh, geez. I haven't talked to my mom in a few years. I would have to, rekindle that a little bit to know for sure. But I mean,
Like,
my
did
mom
your
grew up here at the
grandmother-
very least. Yeah, I don't know. We never really talked about grandmother or anything. But, probably. My mom, she lived here. They had a family home, so I assume that they've been here for a little while.
Okay. Thanks, Arnold. This has been interesting. I'll just
Yeah. You want to do a favor for me?
I did take a lot of your time. Sure. What's up?
Well, me and my mom don't talk too much, and now that you're in possession of the stuff I left in her house, I am assuming she sold it, and I would like to know if she sold all my things, and maybe you'd act as a bit of a messenger between these things, if that's okay.
Sure, no problem. Where's Mom at?
He just takes out a scroll of paper and
Yeah.
quickly etches out. You see an address and the name Teresa on it.
Okay. And just like one other thing. Do you know Helena at all? Does that name mean anything to you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's fine. That's
Like I said, I'm quite the shut-in. This is what I do a few times a year. I do one of these things to try and make some money.
well. I don't know how much of your stuff is, like you said, your mom sold off, but I know that some of it at least ended up over at Twist's Terrifying Trinkets down that alley,
okay.
like down at the city center.
Okay,
So
interesting.
you might want to check there if you can. But yeah, I'll stop by. I guess you're going to be here over the next couple days with my mom doing the art show.
Yeah, I'll be
Okay,
around
yeah.
here.
All right, I'll stop back when I can.
Okay. All right, and then in the next few days leading up to what would be our current day, what would you do? Do you just go directly looking for his mom, or is there anything else that you do?
Yeah, so essentially I would have, like spent the rest of that day probably like helping mom out or whatever, and then the following day would have headed over to the address to go speak to Teresa.
Okay. As you are making your way towards Teresa, you notice that this is the same street that Brody lives on. And making your way up the street, you see that he's in the car with his dad. They have just dropped off at the driveway. And Brody, as you exit the car, you see Ransom there, just walking up your street.
Going
What are you
on.
doing?
Let's go for a walk. Found trying to follow up on some keys out of the car, right? Dad's not like within
Yeah,
earshot.
like his dad's shuffling off.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. Maybe found a lead.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I just
you wanna come with?
yeah, we'll walk and talk.
Cool. And yeah, I fill him in on what I talked about with Arnold, what I found over at Angel's. Hey, you seen Angel?
No. I went to my mom's old house, which isn't there. So this picture is not right.
Weird.
And yeah, and I'm going to point out the picture that my dad talked about. Yeah, he was saying that this one is a lady by the last name Gaines. Couldn't remember her last name, but said like we must have the records at the shop, at the projectionist Shawshank, in the basement somewhere. So maybe we can do that later. But
Right. Oh, all those old boxes that I moved around. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'll have to check on that. Wait, we've been sitting on clip. Never mind. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So basically, I'm gonna go talk to Arnold's mom. See if she's still got any of his old stuff. Because he makes those weird games and a bunch of weird art, and all of them had glowing eyes in them.
yeah, it's kind of weird. You think that maybe he made a deal with the eyes?
If he did, I don't think he's aware of it.
Huh.
Kind of, and I kind of think back to the one or two books that that Ransom has read. It kind of sounds like a Lovecraft thing, but I don't know. That I was gonna say it's not real, but here we are. They have a vampire friend. Anyway, knock on the door.
You knock on the door, and after a few moments, it creaks open, and you see a lady there with slightly grayed hair, kind of tied back in a bun, and just looks at you. I'm not buying anything if you're selling.
No. Good afternoon, ma'am. My name's Ransom Brindlewood. You might know my mother, Carolyn Brindlewood. She organizes some of the art shows down at the community center that your son takes part in.
Oh, okay. What has he done something?
No. He I spoke to him, and he's just very busy with the art show right now. He was wondering, he noticed that some of his things have ended up in some of the local pawn shops, and he's just wondering if you got rid of all of his things, or if it's he still has anything here that he could come home to.
Yeah, no, I mean, I asked him a few times if he wanted it. He didn't respond. So yeah, it's been years. So yeah, I sold it all. I needed to use the room. They can't just have a room full of empty boxes of garbage. So
no, totally understandable, ma'am. Off the top of your head, you wouldn't know if you sold those all to the same place, or if somebody was looking to if he was looking to try and reacquire some of his things.
We had a garage sale. Most of it just whoever wanted it took it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was about two years ago. So
Oh boy,
I can't really help you there. Things have kind of gone about. They could be anywhere. So
nope, that's right. I assume that you wouldn't remember the name of anybody you sold anything to, or
yeah, I don't usually keep receipts at a garage sale or anything. Sure. I don't know. Yeah, so glad he's doing an art show. That's pretty good to hear. He always said that he was going to do it eventually, and then he gave up on computers, which is crazy to me because that's obviously where the money is, and I don't understand. So he's living in the middle of nowhere doing drawings, but hey, he's doing a show, so that's good at least.
Yeah, he's trying.
Yeah.
Did you end up keeping anything of his? Anything at all? Maybe in an attic, or do they have a garage?
You do see that there is a small garage there, but I mean, maybe some clothes. I don't know. He's got a small box, in the attic. So I don't know. We could take a quick look.
Would you be okay with that, ma'am, if we were to take a look at that box and maybe bring it to him, clear out more space in your house for you?
Yeah, sure. Let's take a look. That's fine. Maybe if you got money on you too, just in case there's anything good in there.
I mean,
yep. I'm gonna slip her a 20 for the box.
Well, she hands it back. Well, let's see what's in it first. There could be something extra good, so I don't want to. Yeah, what if there's treasures in here? And she starts to lead you up a small, narrow set of stairs in her old house. You see that the photos lining the wall are very sparse. You see a few pictures of what you assume to be Arnold throughout the years as a kid and then into the teens. And you see one picture of him looking back at a computer, smiling, typing away, with what seems to be the remnants of what this game could have been many, many years ago. And then you get up towards the main area, where at the top level of the area there is in the hallway a pull down cord which brings down the staircase towards the attic, and ushers you up into it. Inside it is incredibly dusty. There are a few boxes. Old lamps seem to destroy, like everywhere there's lamps for some reason. And then at the far end you see a box that has AM on it, and you pull it out, or she pulls it out and hands it to you, and starts peeling out some of the tape on it. And yeah, so a lot of this is kind of antique stuff a little bit, so don't mess with anything. And she peels up the tape and opens the box, and inside you do see that there is a collection of clothes, and you see some notebooks with almost like ripped and scattered papers, and it's quite yellowed with age. And then you see a single photo with two people in it. You see a young boy and a young man who's holding them up, and it's like an old weathered Polaroid of what looks like a fishing trip, as there is something in the bad photo of the shot being held up in the man's other hand as he's got the boy up on his shoulder.
Mrs. Murphy, you wouldn't happen to know who that is, would you?
Yeah, that's well, let me correct you. We never married.
Oh, my apologies.
You
Yeah.
could have like looked at Ransom like,
Yeah, this is where Murphy comes from. Yeah, he's hard to say father, but he's the one that. Anyway, I can see why this is left in a box. It's garbage. She just pushes the box towards you.
I see.
does the man look familiar to me?
He doesn't. She kind of does. You're looking through those photos again, or even just flicking through them in your mind, and a little bit the way that the light is hitting her right now, a dull lamp hiding most of the age. This looks a little bit like one of the more recent photos from the side marked G.
Yeah, you wouldn't be a member of the Gaines family, would you?
She just looks to you like, well, yeah, I'm probably the last one. Whether or not you count Arnold, I don't know, but that's me. And yeah, what about it?
Oh, I'm gonna like quickly glance at Ransom. Like, this might be a terrible idea. Yeah, I was actually doing a project for the city of Snowcatch, and we're just kind of like, trying to figure out who's kind of lived in Snowcatch and all that fun stuff. And anyway, they had a bunch of these photos that they wanted to kind of put in a collage, or trying to narrow down who they belong to. And I think if it's, and I apologize if it's not you, but I'm gonna like quickly go through the photos. I think this one is you, and I'm gonna hand it over and see her reaction.
Yeah, she definitely like it's a little wide-eyed at that. Like, well, that's very interesting. Okay, yeah, that looks like me. That's definitely a picture of me. There's not really much else in it. I don't know. I don't have this picture. I've never seen it. So, why? What about it? You're making where'd you find this?
No, it's just part of the city's genealogy project that they're going on about the history of Snowcatch since its inception.
Okay.
Brody a little nudge.
Yeah,
Interesting.
we're just trying to trying to, get some extracurricular activities in there for college and getting our grades up. So we've kind of agreed to help Snowcatch and helping. And anyway, we just, I just kind of was taking a look at the photos earlier today, and you looked very familiar. So we're just gonna like grab the photo, finish off Gaines in there. Yeah. Just kind of quickly taking a look at the photo. Do you see anything strange about it? Do you know anything of the photo? Who may have taken the photo of you?
I don't know. It kind of looks like maybe he took it, and she points back to the photo. But we took a few kind of like candid photos from time to time. This is a pretty bad one though. Like, it's not flattering or interesting. It's just dark picture with me kind of in frame. It's not great. So I don't know. Maybe he had it. Maybe he just had it all his time and it's circulated around somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But you did say you're like the last Gaines family in Snowcatch, and obviously Gaines family has been in Snowcatch for quite some time. Would you be able to kind of help me, or help us, I should say, figure out if you know any other individuals in these photos? Just like
sure, I could take a quick look. Yeah.
That'd really be helpful. I've been stumped for a few weeks on some of the photos. I still can't figure them out. But yeah, if you could help, that'd be great.
Okay. Yeah, and as you're like flipping through the photos, looking over them, she starts to like look through them a few times, and then back to some of them, and then flipping through it again, and then like holds out a few in a display in front of her. So there is something the same in all of these. And as she kind of starts panning them out in front of you, you see something that you are very aware was never there before. You've investigated these incredibly well. You found nearly every pattern you thought existed. And looking out at them now, you see in all of them, there is two faded dots that almost look like what we would call like a ghost orb or something, like two little dots in unison, side by side, in every single one of the photos. But it's very faint. And well, if you had not rolled 12s when you were doing investigations, you would think maybe you missed them. But like you investigated these incredibly well. It was never there before.
Okay. Oh, thank you for pointing that out. I've actually never realized those were there. And I'm just quickly taking a look at all of them. Looking at Ransom, looking a little sheepish. Do you? Interesting. But other than the two dots, you don't recognize anybody else in the photos?
No, I don't think so. I mean, this one, and she points to your mom, kind of looks like someone I've seen walking around the neighborhood sometimes, but that's the closest I got.
Okay, well, thank you. We really appreciate it. And do you know if there was any aspiring photographers in Snowcatch Valley, kind of when you were kind of growing up?
I have no idea. I mean, he, and she points to the picture again, like he was kind of an aspiring photographer, sure, but in that he bought a camera one time and took a dozen photos. So, a fleeting hobby, I bet. So that's about it.
He and I'm sorry if this comes off as a bit rude, but does he still live in Snowcatch Valley?
I have no idea. Not too long after that photo was taken, he went off and said he had to find something, sort something out. And he made this big romantic feeling out of it, like he was going to go sort out something for our Arnold's life here and, fix things. And big grand gestures that meant nothing because it's been decades, So
So you would say that he's missing?
I guess if everyone who's ever been abandoned if they're missing because they left their family, sure, yeah, he's missing. He packed up and left and never came back.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. But well, we don't want to take up any more of your time, right, Ransom?
Right.
If you don't mind, we'll take the box to Arnold, and yeah, there doesn't seem to be anything in there really. So like hand her back the 20, like
And she just pushes it towards you. It's like, no, this is fine. You can have the box. There's nothing I would want in there, and more space for some antiques. And she just kind of gestures to all the lamps, and then ushers you down from the attic.
Thank you very much for your time, ma'am. And sure Arnold will be thankful for this. And it was nice to meet you.
Yeah, tell him that I hope he sells some paintings, and if he ever happens to do like some cool, not nature photos, maybe some old houses, or I don't know. I'll buy something is what I'm trying to say. We could maybe let him just know. I don't know. That's fine. She kind of ushers you towards the door.
All right, thanks. I'll, walk
thank
out.
you.
Okay. Okay. And she just shuts the door.
Yeah. Initially I didn't really like her, Brody, but I think she's just had a hard life.
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna look at the pictures again.
Mhm.
Are the dots still there?
The dots are there, and they definitely were brighter now than they were a moment ago. And as you're looking through them, you also notice that the photo taken of what you assume to be Arnold Murphy and his dad with the fish, on the back of it, there's a drawing.
Oh,
And-
baby. What is that?
To you, Ransom, it stands out because you remember hearing whispers in this well. And this is a drawing of that same well. You can see that it's rough, drawn by a child, and some charcoal, and you see like a field around it and vaguely what you assume are trees. And in this style, you can see there's lots of cross-hatching style etchings that look similar to Arnold's style now, but well more developed now than it is then. And you see, just a small, faint image of what was drawn in here a long, long time ago.
Jesus Christ, Brody, do you see this? That's the freaking well, man. I'm bugging out. What? All of this, everything's connected. You're right.
I've been telling you. I'm just gonna hit him lightly.
Hold on to the box. Okay.
Question: Does the picture of them two with the well have eyes?
It does not, no.
Okay. And another question. When I flip to the pictures of my mom and grandma,
Mhm.
where are the eyes located in the photo?
The one with your
Relative to-
mom is, you can see that slight edge of the yard behind her with the framing of the house on the other side. And you can see in the yard where there's a small spindly tree that the eyes are between the branches.
Okay. And what about Great Gramps?
On his, it's straight over his shoulder. Like this photo is him having his hands up towards the camera in a flash. And you can just see reflected back seemingly as light from these two shining dots.
Okay. I'm going to just point them out to Ransom, just in case he didn't see them the first time.
Those weren't there before.
Yeah, they weren't there before. I thought I was going crazy, but they're in all of them, except for the well one. He's not in that one, but we don't know if that one's connected to these photos. But they're all there. And can I roll paranoid detective?
Yeah, that feels relevant.
Hold on. 9. So 9.
Okay. Yeah, not too bad. You start to feel that there is something here. This can't all be a coincidence, right? Like this is the well that you saw one of the first nights, well, the first time you guys met the club and they took you out, and you, Brody, have a flash of that image of having the camcorder on that man in the woods as you watched him fade away, leaving nothing but twin dots behind. That same night that you saw the well, where Ransom heard the whispers through the radio, and others also heard it through the well itself. And there's no way that all of this is a coincidence. These photos and these whispers and the static that you heard, and the voice that Jimmy heard talk back to him over the radio, and that well.
I have two trains of thought. One is really out there.
Okay, let's see if we can connect the dots here, though, Brody.
The more realistic thought that I have is that
Gonna hear the air quotes.
is that these photos weren't taken of the individuals; they were taken of the eyes. The individuals just happened to be in the photo. If that makes sense, that's one thought. A second thought, this one's a bit crazier, is what if he's watching us through these fucking photos? Because they weren't there before. And now that I feel like we're getting a bit closer, he's fucking watching us.
Well, hold on. I mean, it did say it's always listening, right? But
what if he's always watching?
The spirit of Snowcatch. But it's all about these founding families, I think, though, right? Because there's the Gaines and the other name that I definitely remember. That's escaping me at the moment, but they're all of these two like family lines. Do we have a deal with the devil situation going on here, where these two families have been promised to this thing? Maybe, I don't know, maybe it feeds by giving like artistic inspiration. Although I think you're right about the photos. Man.
Weird. It's really weird. And I wonder if we got a hold of that camera from that night of hunting, quote unquote. If we would have seen the eyes other than where we obviously saw them with our own eyes, but I wonder if we would have noticed it following us. Not that I want to go ask or anything. By the way, what's in the box?
Sorry, I've been watching too many movies. It's a head. Look, no, it's more photos and clothes, photos, and what else is in the box?
Yeah, it was clothes and an old notebook.
Yeah. Oh, that notebook. And I pull that out.
Just flipping through it quickly. The clothes you check, it's just clothes. Looking in the notebook, you can see this is like a kid's. What do we do during class is the vibe you're getting. Lots of doodles and little notes, and you do see images of this well repeating in similar type designs, where you see like a full black circle with the two dots in the middle, and a lot of that type of imagery is sketched around random photos of zany characters and cool swords, and then back to picture of just dark circles with two dots and a well. And you can see one picture of a man strong with a sword in his hand, fighting off against one of these dark circles with an orb with tendrils coming out against it. And you can see around some of these photos of this person fighting it, you see a picture of Dad, the mighty hero, and Sir Murphy and stuff like that. And yeah, that's what you see.
Okay. There's another theory.
But he's been seeing this thing since he was a kid.
Yeah, but the father's missing. Okay. Let's pretend that he didn't really abandon the kid. Let's pretend that he has gone missing with the eyes. Maybe it started hearing whispers when it went to the well. And she did say this whole thing about making a life for them What if he went and followed the whispers? What if he brought the kid with him? What if the kid saw the eyes and something happened and he's just had that memory kind of locked in the back of his mind this whole time?
You know, I would say you're crazy, Brody, but I think crazy is kind of what we need right now. That sounds possible. Let's go ask him. We got his stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
hey,
he probably needs a therapist.
He
but-
he was kind of like closed off about, you know, he's like, yeah, I've seen this, you know, I want to draw it, it's inspiration, blah blah blah. But he wouldn't really talk about it. What if we get Angel to you know, help us out? It's gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Help.
yeah, we can definitely ask him. Yeah. By the way, did he ever say that he sold any of those photos or paintings?
No, the drawings of the eyes that he's got, or the paintings.
Yeah.
No, he says they don't sell.
So maybe he didn't make a deal with the eyes.
No, I think if anything, like you said, maybe he's obsessed over it, and it's something that is just feeding on the back of his mind all these years.
Oh, that's so weird.
It is like Lovecraft.
Well, why don't we go find? Well, let's drop this off. Let's figure it out, and then let's go find Angel.
Yeah, he
and
should
depending what he says.
be at home. I think he had a couple days off from work, so yeah. All right, let's go do that. Hop in. You don't have to call shotgun. It's just you and me.
Oh, I thought you were going to give it to the box.
That's a good idea. Get in the back, son.
Get at.
As you guys pile into the car, Brody, you do see a Christmas box in the backseat of Ransom's car that, as he takes off, starts to jingle
Don't
and
touch
rattle
that.
with metal clanking, and you make your way out away from Teresa Gaines's house with thoughts and threads of things in your mind. And we have Jimmy and Angel somewhere in darkness, following unknown threads. And for now, that's going to be the end of this one. We will come back, with our next episode, picking up where we left off. So thanks everybody for watching. This is Snowcatch Valley, the Fall of '99. We're the
What
casual
episode is
ones. It is in the thing, and it's hard to remember. And we stream Tuesdays and Thursdays. So check us out. Thanks everybody.
That's good.
Have a good
All
one.
right, guys.
Bye bye.
Everybody.
Bye bye.